Hey everyone, how's it going today? It is a beautiful day here in Austin, Texas. Coming at you again with another video. Today I wanted to shift from talking about my Jeep and everything like that I've had in my last couple videos, and I want to shift back toward a Navy video. My last video, I did a video about the separations process while you're at boot camp for the Navy. I had a lot of positive feedback on that video that people felt that it was very informative and helpful. So today I wanted to make a related video that talks about how to take advantage of your time while you're in delayed entry waiting to go into the Navy. Whenever you enlist in the Navy, you're going to go into the delayed entry program. Nobody ships right away anymore. You're going to be in delayed entry for anywhere between a month up to, I was in delayed entry for almost a year and a half, just because of different issues with my security clearance and everything like that. Actually, my total time in delayed entry was over 2 years, including the first time that I was in delayed entry, but then I backed down for some personal reasons. But while you're in the delayed entry program, you're going to have a couple responsibilities. You're going to have to contact your recruiter every week by text or phone call just to let them know you're okay and that you're still ready to go into the Navy. You're going to have to meet them twice a week face-to-face for the same reason. You're also going to go over a couple things at those meetings. And one of those meetings is going to be your DEP meeting, which is going to be every future sailor that's in the delayed entry program at the time will all meet at the same time. And you'll have a lesson that's regarding the Navy that's typically related to something in your start guide. And some activities that test how much you've been studying your start guide and things like that. Sorry about a lot of burping, I just ate lunch. Now, I mentioned your start guide. Your start guide is going to be your Bible for delayed entry program. Everything you're going to need to know going into recruit training is going to be in there. Your haircut and shave standards for boot camp are going to be in there. Your required items that you need to bring to boot camp and what you should absolutely not bring to boot camp are going to be in there. Your PT standards are going to be in there. Those are going to vary by age, but the standards that you need to practice for your PT test, for your PFT while you're at basic are going to be in there. So that's pretty much going to be what you need to live by while you're at boot camp, while you're in delayed entry is going to be your start guide. This is going to go over things like the 11 general orders of a century, which is something that every sailor needs to know. It's going to be over phonetic alphabet, the 24-hour clock rather than the 12-hour clock. It's going to have it's going to talk about chain of command. It's going to talk about honor, courage, and commitment, which are the Navy core values. It's going to have the Sailor's Creed, which is something you're going to need to know. Everything like that. So my biggest advice for anybody that's going into the delayed entry program is going to be definitely don't take for granted the information that's in the start guide. I've noticed a lot of people while I was in delayed entry, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is BS, I don't need to learn all this stuff, I'll learn it at boot camp. But you need to know that stuff pretty much day one at boot camp, at least your 11 general orders and your Sailor's Creed. If you don't, there's not going to be an excuse. They're not going to blame your recruiter, they're going to blame you because you didn't study. So make sure you're studying those things. You need to know the 11 general orders by heart, just off the top of your head. If somebody asked you what the 7th general order was, what the 11th general order was, anything like that, you need to know it without even having to think about it. Same with the Sailor's Creed. You're going to be saying the Sailor's Creed at least once every day while you're at boot camp. At least for my division, we would do, at night, we called it saying our prayers. We would say the 11 general orders, we would say our Sailor's Creed, and we would sing Anchors Away, which is the Navy song. It varies division by division what of those things you're going to do, but you're going to do something like that in pretty much any division, from my experience. So make sure you're studying your start guide, learn back to front all the information that's in there. My second piece of advice to you is to learn what your standards are for passing the PFT, and you need to make sure you at least meet the minimum standards by the time you ship. It's going to make it a lot easier on you while you're in boot camp if you're able to pass a fitness test. The reason I say this is while you don't have to pass your PFT, until the end of boot camp. You're going to take a PFT within your first actual week after P days, and it's gonna suck a lot if you don't know how to pass a PFT, or if you're not able to pass a PFT. Also, you're going to be individual. It's called individual training, IT'd. You're getting dropped all the time after you're out of P days. So they're making, it's not even while you're in P days, once you're declared fit for full duty after you've done all your physicals and everything, they're going to be able to drop you immediately. So, that's doing push-ups, 10-count bodybuilders, just a bunch of different exercises that you're going to have to do. And if you're able to meet at least the minimum standards for PFT, those IT sessions aren't going to suck nearly as much, because you're going to be fit enough to be able to handle them. The getting dropped in the Navy isn't as bad as a lot of the other services. The exercises aren't really that bad, and it doesn't really go on for a long time. I've heard about people in the Army talk about, they call it getting smoked. They get smoked for hours. Obviously they're exaggerating, but realistically, they get smoked for a really long time. It never really happens for more than 10, 20 minutes in the Navy. So if you're fit enough to pass a PFT, those sessions can actually be fun for you. Don't make them seem like they're fun. That's a bad idea. But they can be fun for you, because you'll be able to do all those things easily, and it'll help you get more in shape. Now, my third piece of advice to you while you're in DEP is not to do anything stupid. Don't get arrested. Don't get speeding tickets. Don't go out partying and drinking and then drive home. Don't do anything like that, because if your criminal history changes while you're in delayed entry, that's going to delay your security clearance. It's going to delay your ability to ship, and it could essentially get you kicked out of the delayed entry program if it's severe enough. So make sure you're, at all times you're representing, even when you're a future sailor, at all times you're representing the Navy. It's even more so when you're already in, but even as a future sailor, because to your delayed entry program meetings, you're going to be wearing your future sailor shirt. People are going to recognize that you're going into the Navy. It's a pretty recognizable shirt. So you need to make sure that you're always representing the Navy to the best of your ability, not doing anything stupid, because it can have a lot of big consequences other than the legal consequences if you're a future sailor. I would also say that make sure you show up to your meetings. If you miss a bunch of meetings, you're going to get kicked out of the Navy. Don't take them lightly. Some recruiting offices have mandatory workouts that you have to go to, some don't. So if your recruiting station has those workouts, make sure you go into them. They can be really helpful in maintaining your ability to pass a PFT. And then my last piece of advice for you to take advantage of the time while you're in DEP is get your financial situation in order. There are several reasons for this. Number one, if you have a lot of debts that are in collections, or if you have a lot of financial issues, it can actually affect your ability to get a security clearance. My security clearance took a long time because I had some debts in collections that I wasn't able to pay yet. So the Navy was kind of iffy about giving me a security clearance for my job, because let's say my debt wasn't bad enough for this, but I'm sure it's happened in the past, and this is why this is in place. If, let's say you have tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and you have this high security clearance job where you know a lot of classified information, that puts you at risk for someone to be able to coerce you into selling state secrets or bribing you to tell them what's going on. And it can lead to things like, it sounds like it's not ever going to be that big of a deal, but it could lead to things like domestic terrorism. It could assist in espionage of other countries. Like, it's to that level of what could happen if you're in that position where you're able to be coerced. Which is why they don't want to grant that security clearance if you're in strong financial troubles. So if you get your financial situation in order, they're going to be a lot more comfortable giving you a security clearance. It's going to make you able to ship a lot faster. You should also get your financial situation in order, because while you're at boot camp, you're not going to be able to access your any of your finances. You'll have your debit card. You're going to be able to spend the money that you get paid at the Navy exchange and things like that to get supplies. But other than that, your money's just going to be sitting in your bank account. So having all of your bills on auto pay, having everything caught up, is going to put you in a lot better of a financial situation coming out of boot camp, because you'll have the money in the bank, you won't have to worry about it, and everything will be good. That's pretty much all the advice I have on how to take advantage of your time in delayed entry. Just to review, have everything in the start guide memorized front to back. To add on to that, make sure you are keeping up with the current chain of command, the recruit training command, because it changes all the time. New people get moved into positions, and that's something you're going to have to know. So make sure you keep up to date on what the chain of command is. Don't get in any legal trouble. Make sure you're always representing the Navy to the best of your ability. Get your financial situation in order, and make sure you're able to pass a PFT and get as high up into the score of a PFT as you can before you leave, and boot camp's going to be a breeze. That's pretty much everything I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll be out with a new video soon. If you like what you see, if you want to see more content about either delayed entry or about boot camp, about the Navy, or if you want to see more of my car-related and Jeep-related videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post. Make sure you like this video and comment on it, letting me know anything you'd like to see or what you liked about it. Other than that, y'all take care and have a great day.